Hello there, YouTubers. Working on the old wagon. You guys going to be in the, I hope we do it right. Anyhow, the first thing I want to do is give a special thanks to somebody that gave me a super thanks, I think is what they call it. It's 4440 PVC, 440 PVC. I want to thank you for putting in the super thanks, I think is what they call them. I'm not too sharp on all that stuff, but thank you. And thank you all the other people for watching and subscribing and putting up with my nonsense, because I know there's a lot of nonsense that goes on here, and I know there's a lot of stuff that needs to be edited out, and I'm still working on that. So I'm working on these right now. I've got the second coat on that one. I thought, well, maybe you guys would like to come along and see what kind of goofy stuff I do all day. Yesterday was Father's Day, so that gives you a relationship to what was going on. I didn't get much done because we were out celebrating all day long. The kids took me out, then the grandkids. Well, the grandkids came over first, and we had a good time with them. That's always fun. And then we went up to Frederick and walked around Frederick and ate at a real nice place. Don't know the name of it. My daughter took me there, and had a good time there. Then we came home, put a movie on. I think I went to bed early last night, as a matter of fact, because I was planning on getting up early and going up to Pennsylvania. I picked something up. Remember I told you on Friday, well, you guys can watch me paint while I jabber. I'm going to start at this end down here. Maybe I'll start at this end in the shade. That's how I did the, nah, I went that direction. I got to take that thing off down there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just the bunk that holds it on, because those are still mobile. I haven't put them in place because I'm still I'm kind of guy that kind of likes to put it up, see what it looks like. And I had to figure out, when the wheels turn, you can't have these very far out, because when the wheels turn, it'll hit the beam. So you really can't have them out as far as I like to have them out. I'll show you when I get down here. So now we're just going to kind of paint along and jabber. I did get the first coat I got on here and on that one, and then I ran out of mud. It looks like mud. I don't know if you can see it. It's bare deck coating, and it seemed to work pretty good on stuff in the back. So what I'm doing is I'm putting on a coat on the side, a coat on the top. Now this is the first coat on the side here, and then I'm going to flip it over and put, now it'll be the second coat on the bottom. This is actually going to be the bottom. Get it in these holes. There's a few holes in this wood here, but it's a farm wagon. It just doesn't have to be. And you know, I'm paying special attention to these ends getting. So that's the second coat on the end, and when I flip it over, it'll actually get a third coat on the ends. They got to dry, so that's why I'm doing it now. It's rain coming in again tomorrow morning, so I want to get done. Anyhow, I told you on the last video that I had a bad day. I don't know if you recall that. But what happened was I bought something on an auction site, and you had to go pick it up. And so I got all that stuff, and the lady says, you know, you got to pick it up before 2 o'clock. I said, okay, that's no problem. So I drive up to Chambersburg. It's about, I think it's about 75 miles from here. I don't know how far Chambersburg is. It's you guys can look it up. And it was something on a government auction. So I went up there to pick it up. It was the nastiest driving trip you'd ever want to get a hold of. Because, oh, I don't want to paint. I want to paint in here first, so when I lean over, I don't get painted on. I'm thinking and not. I'm jabbering and not thinking. Can't do two things at the same time. Anyhow, so on the way down the road, I get 2 miles down the road, and they got the road closed with a detour. Say, okay, that ain't too big deal. I can handle that. So I did the detour because it was in town where I knew where I was at. Now I don't have a GPS. I don't have a phone that tells me that kind of stuff on the phone. You know, when you're going here and you can't go here, go there. Don't have all that luxury stuff. I'm kind of low tech, let's say. So then I'm going up Interstate 70 heading toward 81. And I get up there, and Interstate 70 going up over the mountain was going 25 miles an hour. Now that's a 70-mile-an-hour stretch up there. And it was going 25 miles an hour, and it was blocked up for miles. It was like that for miles. So I'm going along. There's nothing you can do about it. I guess you could find an alternate route if you feel like it, which it's a lot easier with a GPS, but then you're just going to be in back roads. You'll probably be going the same miles an hour, or same distance per mile, or you know what I mean. Because back roads aren't always, they're nice roads, they're comfortable roads, but they're slower generally. A lot of stop signs and stuff like that. I don't know. So anyhow, I get through all that nonsense, and then I'm stretched out. It's starting to go pretty good. I got to go about another, say, 20 miles up to hit 81. And about a mile before I hit 81, which I got to go north on, it says all lanes are closed on 81. I'm going, well, what I said wasn't, I can't put it on here. They would not let me monetize. Now I got to get some more junk in there. I'll move you down. So anyhow, I still went on 81 figuring, well, maybe it was a mistake. They said it was closed all the way up to the Pennsylvania, just north of the Pennsylvania line, I believe is what they said. And it was on a flashing thing, so I couldn't really review it. I guess you could have picked it up on a channel someplace, but I don't know how to do that. You could get it on your cell phone if you wanted to, but you know, I got an old flip-up cell phone. That just ain't gonna happen. So there I was. And as soon as I got on 81, now it was 17 miles on 81 before you get to the state line. So I knew there was at least 17 miles of backup, and there was an exit there. So I took the exit figuring I can at least move. I just can't tolerate sitting in traffic. I'll move. It's kind of like going on back roads, and I knew I was there. And so I got this in my truck, because I was taking the black truck. I got these things called maps. Now if you're new here and you're young, it's a paper thing you unfold and it shows you where you're at. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I don't even know if I'm in that screen. Anyhow, it's a paper map. It's a real interesting thing, and I used to always collect them, and I always keep them in the black truck because that's what I have to use. That's what I grew up with. They even used to give them free at gas stations, believe it or not, when gas was 29 cents a gallon. Anyhow, so I look and I come off, I said, I know I want to get on Route 11. Well, that's no problem. So I get off, and I also have a compass on my truck, and I know which way I had to go to get 11. But I got in the lane just to get off, and so I was going the wrong direction, but I didn't know I was going the wrong direction quite yet, because I thought 11 was on the north side of 81, which it is once you get up a ways. So I'm on the south side. So I go up, and by this time, old man, I had to take a station break, believe me, because I was planning on the Pennsylvania rest stop for me. Old man has to have a rest. Anyhow, so I got off, and I found a McDonald's. So I go into McDonald's. I said, and I asked the lady there, I said, how do you get to Route 11? She says, oh, you got to turn around and go down that way, and it'll get you right there. And I said, okay. So I did what she said, and I'm going down there, and after about 2 or 3 miles, I'm going, this don't seem right. So I look, and I'm right by the intersection of, I think I'm on Old National Pike is what the road was. I'm not sure. I think that's what I was. Old National Pike. I think it's 144 or 44. I don't really recall. And so I got the old map out, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, oh man, she told me to go this way. I guess she thought I was in a different spot than I am, or came in a different way. I have no idea. But then I looked and saw, oh, here's Route 63. That'll take me right up to Route 11. And that's right in front of me. So I did that, and it worked out real good. I'm putting along. Uh-oh, got to do some finger painting down here. So I'm putting along and not a problem. Get into Route 11, go on up, and oh man, I'll tell you what, I meandered. Route 11's a real pretty road. It kind of nostalgic. It's probably like Route 66. Just a lot of neat stuff. So I'm going along that. Pick up route. Got on Route 11. I was on 63 and it merged right into Route 11. So I was doing good. And so I keep going up and I get into the place where I'm supposed to pick this thing up at. And guess what? They wouldn't load on Fridays. They don't load on Fridays. Now, I don't know why when I called that lady up to get a schedule for a pickup, she just said you got to get there by 2. And I was, because of all the traffic problems, I was having a hard time thinking I was going to get there by 2. But I did get there by 2. Anyhow, they wouldn't load. So I tried to offer the guy that was the loader, because he was there, 20 bucks. You know, he could put it in his pocket, because that was certainly cheaper than gas. That was my theory. I wasn't trying to compromise his integrity. I was more trying to save my own butt and gas. But he wouldn't do it, so I wasn't going to sit there and argue with him, because there wasn't any point in it. I was the one that was wrong if they said you can't load on Friday. And the bill of lading said that. So I was kind of stupid by not reading. And you know my famous saying, you got to pay to be stupid. So that's where I was, turned around and came back down the road. 81 was still closed, but it was closed in the other direction. But I came home all the back ways, and it took forever to get home. So whatever that trip was, dollar-wise, you know, I got probably 10 miles to a gallon in that truck if I'm lucky. When they started adding alcohol, I used to get 12. When they started adding the alcohol in the gas, it, you know, it drops your mileage, because the performance out of alcohol isn't what performance in gas is, power output. So you don't get the mileage. I don't know if you knew that or not. Let's see, got the ends real good. The other side looks pretty good. Just trying to get all my heavy spots out of here. It doesn't look too bad. A couple little spots there. That looks dry through there already. Here, you know, we're in the sun. It's kind of warm. The humidity's low, so it'll dry fast. Anyhow, that's about it for that. I need to clean that mess up, but I'll do that in a minute or two. I'm hoping that'll dry fast enough that I can just flip them over. I probably can't. We're gonna go over and take the blade off. Like I said, it's supposed to rain rain tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I got to get this stuff up now. I finished the crate, so I can take the saw blade off of that. I hope to get the saw blade to the back today. So you're gonna try to see me attempt to get that off of there and put it back in its sheath. I don't know what they call this thing. Just stuff I do all day long. I'm busy all day long, guys. I don't know how to explain it. Guess I should go get some mittens, because that saw blade will be sharp. So we're going to try to put that, which it's all covered up. It sure do look pretty. We're going to try to get that into this crate, but I'm going to go look for a pair of mittens first. And it's heavy. I don't know what it weighs, but it weighs more than I like to handle. So I forgot a pair of mittens. I'll be back in a second. They're in the Kubota right where we were. I'm gonna leave you guys about here. Got my pair of mittens. Those teeth on the blades, even after you file them, are about as sharp as cat claws. That's about how I like to explain how sharp I like them. And those being new are pretty sharp. So I'm gonna try to attempt to get that all rolled down and flop it down on there is the plan. Gravity being on my side here, I might be all right with that. Now somebody was asking me somewhere along the line, oh, I should be spraying it down first, but I guess I'm not. Spray it down with fluid film. Why you can't saw in the sun in the back? A lot of times this metal expands. Not anything that you could see probably, but with the lower half of the saw is in sawdust pit, so it doesn't get sun on it. So the top will expand, and sometimes it'll cause that blade to wobble and do things that you really don't want it to do, but it's just the nature of the beast. I'm gonna drop this thing on my toe. I can see that coming. So far we're doing good. Already caught me. And we're just kind of rolled up on the crate and lower it down. Yeah, it's heavy. And I got a bug on my ear. Daggone bugs. Well, I guess my repairs did all right. Got another bug on my ear. It's kind of buggy out here. But see, no matter how much you get, you still get a line through the blade. But that's not a bad, I might take a couple pictures when you're done, because I'm hoping maybe I can get it straight over the top. I can't see in the camera now. Well, I'm gonna take a couple pictures of that, so I won't put the crossboard in it yet. So that's where we're at here. That's done, and I'm going to pick it up with a bobcat and take it to the back. So it's going to the back sawmill next. Somebody was asking me what saw I'm going to put it on. It'll be going on the back one. That thing there sitting in the sun will get hot as a firecracker. And yes, it'll bow, and because metal expands with heat. Now we're going to go back and show you what I got on the sawmill. I wanted to finish sawing that, I guess they call it a cant up. I don't know why they call it a cant. They just call it a timber up, but they call them cants. Oh, I need to get some of this stuff out of here, because I don't need to be driving back with a gallon of wet paint here, or wet whatever. No place good to put it. I guess if I put it on the ground, then I might not spill it. Likely to spill it. I guess I will let this drain into there. I'll set that on the tire, and that could just sit there and drain into there, I think. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take my mittens off, put them back on when we get back there. I think I'll take you guys off the tripod, throw that in back with everything else. Oh, I washed the last container out. It makes a real nice, it's a plastic container. Makes a nice, real nice little bucket. You know me, I'm a hoarder, save everything. All right, so now we're gonna head to the back and show you what I got going on there, because there's always stuff going on. I might video that. My helper's saying don't video me. I found out that the speaker for this thing must be in the back, because when I did the video the other day and I was driving through the back, I said there's no point in talking because the wind going into the microphone. But when I watched the video myself, I noticed that you could hear the sound while I was driving. So you might catch me jabbering on the way back. I need to keep the camera on the road. I keep my eyes on the road, and the camera kind of goes wherever my hand decides it wants to go. Don't have much control of that stuff anymore. Another squirrel, bird. There's so many animals back, so many squirrels. They've gotten into just about everything. I did a little mowing of the grass. The bobcat's gonna go up and get the blade and bring it to the back. I have that temporary table. The reason I'm calling it temporary because I put it there and I don't like it. Where I set all my utensils that I use for the sawmill, they seem to want to vibrate and fall down. There's a vibration in the mandrel of this sawmill, which I don't like. I think it's due to the Babbitt bearings in the one, because I only have one Babbitt bearing left, and I think there's too much play in that. But I haven't really decided to put another one in yet. What I did is I got a pallet to put those pine boards on, so they will be out of the way, because I got more pine boards coming. And you can't saw without, it's like you can't inhale without sooner or later exhale, and you can't saw with logs coming in without getting stuff off the other way. So what I did is, a while back I started making pallets, so I can put the wood right on pallets, so I don't have to move the 4x4 every time I want to move wood. So basically, you're going to watch me, instead of watching paint dry, you're going to watch me stack some wood to finish out. Now these are just random junk stickers that I got, because I don't know what I'm going to really do with this wood, and I have no use for it. Nobody wants it, that kind of stuff. So, that's nice. That's a little bit longer. I will put it there. I might cut it off. Who knows? But I can't. You got to sticker it. That's just the bottom line. Is you got to sticker this stuff, guys. And these are a little bit longer than the pallet, but you're going to cut the ends off anyway, and they could go goofy. These are all a little bit long. They're also a little bit thick. I think they're a little bit thicker than an inch. It's a strong inch. I gotta play with that. I'll saw the rest of that log out, but before I saw the stuff that's down there over the hill, I'm going to look into that. Because I want these to be an inch, only because that's pretty much standard. If they're a little heavier than an inch, it really doesn't make any difference. Now here's where you run into a problem. Because the pallet's 4 foot wide, and that one's narrow, but that one might be narrow too. I want to take that narrow one out. Here's a tape. If I got a narrow one in there, because if I put 4 of them, they'll be too tight. I think this one's narrow. Yeah, that's 10. So I'll take that one out and move this one in. This first one I know was short. This is why I don't. Mark's got it easy. He doesn't have to sticker most of his wood. Every now and then he gets one he's got to sticker. And I need another board for this sawmill, so I got to flip the cant that I got over. Don't let that fall on your foot. These are those oaks, which I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them yet. Got kind of an idea though. I like a little airspace in between them, but I like to have them out to the end of the rack. So now I need 5 more of these. And what I'm going to do is, for now, I'll just set it up on edge, and then it'll be higher. And then I get put the other one up on edge, and then I can put the other ones under it. Because I screwed up at the beginning, guys. Most of the time, I cut my stickers long, 2 inches longer than 4 foot, so at 50 inches. because then you can tap them around at the ends. In other words, if they stick out at the end, you can tap them that way or that way and get them lined up if you really want to. It isn't necessary. These are just random junk stickers that you got there. But I like to have it even with the end of the pallet, so I know I got a 4 foot. I know 4 foot. Flop this one down. That one is a little bit short. That one could go a little bit that way. That one could go a little bit that way. I think we're ready for more boards. Pretty good looking wood here. Without the footprints, be better. So you guys can figure the board foot out if you want. Basically, these are, I think these are 12 inches, and they're 11 feet long. So there's 11 board foot in each one of those boards. Oh, there's a thin one. There's that thin one that I call cut. Of course, that you don't know what the heck you're going to do with. So you can figure out how many, there's 8 boards there. So 8 times 11, 88. So there's 88 board feet there if I figured out right. So now we're going to take you off of this. So that's a pretty good looking wood. Watched Chris in the wood yard today. He had an interesting video. Go up there and watch him. Is basically gas prices going crazy. There's a wasp's nest, hornet's nest that I got rid of last night. That was, you can see a tip of it up there. Anyhow, the board that I need, I got to replace this board here because you need that board. You need a board like that in there when you change the blade because you got to have some place to stand out there. In fact, I might put 2 of them on there, except for it won't go over the can't think what that thing's called, the winder, I don't know, the wire wheel, wire thing, whatever. So I got a few boards up there to cut. So what I think I'll do is I'll cut, this is 10 inches this way, this is 12 inches this way. So I think I'll cut a 12-inch one off and put in here so I can get that other blade on here. And you got to take all this nonsense here off to get that other blade on. And then you got to reset the can't think what I'm thinking of, lead or not. Well, you got to check the lead and reset the, I guess just checking the lead. I don't know. Anyhow, that's kind of what's going on there. Look at this. Now I didn't knock that down. That's a bird's egg. The daggone birds get up there and nest in all sorts of stuff, and they poop on everything back here. I need to bring my crow back here. You can't see, they just pooped all over everything. Oh, I'll show you that. There's the star. I got to mount that, but it's way down there to get up to here. I tried to walk out there and I couldn't do it. Guy suggested, one of the viewers suggested, put it above the 21. I would, except for if you look up, there's no roof over it there. So I'm going to try to get it in the middle over there, but that's not that easy to get. You can't get there from here. So that's what I'm looking at there. This thing here, I put that bench in here to hold the stuff, and as the saw runs, there's enough vibration in the ground that everything falls over every time, and then the gaps in it are too wide, so I got to redo that to make it a little more comfortable using. Anyhow, we're out of time. We're at 29:30, and this goes out at 30, so I'm glad you stopped by. You see what's going on here today. I'm going to go up and flip those boards over and put another coat on them. I'm glad you're here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and find somebody to send it to that they might like it. Thank you for being here now. Bye-bye.